to show you how to make the fate omelette, an omelette without eggs. And there are two stages to this recipe. First of all, there are your fillings or your flavourings, and I'm just going to use basic vegetables here for this omelette. I've got 50 grams of onion, which I'm just going to finely chop. And you can use spring onion if you prefer, or even red onion. This will give it a nice, good base flavour. And then here I've got 50 grams of mushrooms, and I've used the chestnut brown mushrooms here, but you can use any kind of mushrooms you've got, especially sometimes if you get some wild mushrooms. That really does give a nice flavour. And then the other ingredient is fresh parsley. It's one of my favourite herbs, and you just need about a tablespoon when it's chopped in this recipe. Just gather it all together. This is curly leaf parsley, but you can use flat leaf parsley if you like. And don't chop it too finely. I quite like it really sort of roughly chopped. It gives a better flavour. Now put a frying pan onto heat, and just leave it for a few seconds just to gently warm through. And then you need to add about a tablespoon of oil. You can use any kind of oil, olive oil or sunflower oil or vegetable oil. And then when that's warm, leave that just to warm another few seconds. Add about 10 grams of butter and just wait until that melts. Just as the butter's melted, add the onion and also the mushrooms. Just give them a stir. And then leave it on the heat for maybe a couple of minutes until they're reduced and lightly browned. So these are nicely cooked now and brown. We'll turn off the heat and then transfer these to a bowl to cool. I'm just going to add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper, just to season, and then add the parsley. And then just stir that round. Leave it on the side while you prepare the actual omelette. Next you need to prepare the omelette. Now you need a little jug. Put it onto your scales, and then you take 75 grams of the Fate low protein all purpose mix, and I'm just going to weigh that straight into the jug. And into that you need a little bit of baking powder. Don't overdo the baking powder, just about a teaspoonful. That goes in. And then a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper just to season that. And then give that a stir. Now you need some liquid ingredients. And here I've got a baby's bottle, which I always use for liquid ingredients. I'm just going to measure 30 mils of oil. And again, you can use olive oil if you want to, sunflower oil, vegetable oil, walnut oil is good. doesn't matter, and you've got 30 mils there. Now I need 100 mils of cold water, so I'm going to actually top it up to 130, which will be 30 oil and 100 water. 10, 120, 130, that's it. And then you need a little bit of yellow colouring. I've got natural yellow colouring here, and I just need just a tiny touch, just a couple of drops. And that'll do it. Yeah, that's great. And now you need to blend these ingredients. And I've got an electric hand whisk here. So I've got my dry ingredients and my wet ingredients. I'm going to throw the wet ingredients in, use my hand whisk gently on at first, and then just increase the speed. It'll probably take about a minute and a half to get to a thickened stage. It'll be quite ready to begin with. I'll just show you. Yeah, that's beginning to nicely thicken now, but that's not quite thick enough. Carry on. I'll show you now, turn off the whisk, you can actually see it is much thicker, and that's exactly the stage that you want. So I'm just going to clean my beaters. And then take your vegetable mixture and add it to the jug. It's cooled a little bit, but it's not cold. As long as it's not really hot, you can actually do this. Just don't waste any. Put it all in. And then use a spoon just to mix it all together. And that's the fate omelette mixture ready for putting into the pan. Place the pan back on the heat. It's the same pan that I put the vegetables in, no need to wash it. And then just add a tiny bit of oil. Add another tiny bit of butter. Wait till that melts. Now I'm just going to turn the pan down a little bit, the heat down, and then I'm going to transfer that creamy mixture into the pan. Just getting as much as you can out of the jug. Too bad. Put it into the pan. Now just use the spoon and just gently spread it to the edges. You don't have your pan too hot, because this stage would be difficult. That's why I turn the gas down a little bit. Just gently ease the mixture to the outside of the pan. And just level the top, and then just leave it to cook for a couple of minutes. I think I'm going to, now the mixture is spread evenly, I'm just going to turn the heat up very gently. I'll check on it. Yeah, it hasn't actually started to brown, maybe just slightly. Just needs to be a little bit browner than that. What you really want to do is to cook the underside very gently till it goes golden brown, and then you look for the top. The top should be nice and dry. There shouldn't really be any you know, any moisture in the top. I can see that area of the omelette is cooking nicely, so I'm just going to move my pan over. So this area, I think it might be a little bit thicker on this side. We just take a couple of minutes in all. I'm just going to have another look underneath. Yeah, that's coming out nice and brown. It needs to be cooked a little bit more on this side. Just another few seconds. That's doing nicely. So what I'm going to do now, just take a palette knife and I'm just going to fold it. Fold 1/3 over into the centre. I'm using a palette knife. You can use a fish slice if you like. You see that's nice and golden brown and nice and crisp. And then all you do for the next third is coming away from the pan. All I do is just turn it right over. And it's a kind of a French style omelette, which is served folded in 3. That is absolutely lovely. You can see the texture, it's nice and fluffy. Crispy on the outside but lovely and soft inside. And I'll just show you, I've just turned it right over, all nicely golden brown. That's lovely. So then just leave that to cook for maybe another 30 seconds or so. I'll just turn it over, back over again. Make sure it's all really nice and hot all the way through. That's ready now. I'm going to turn off the gas and then just transfer it to a plate. Now it's lovely any time of the day, you can just eat it like that, but we like it with a little bit of salad. It's absolutely delicious. So simple to make and so filling. Fate omelette.